What's up guys, Chris Unprofessional Dad, and I'm back with another knife video. Recently I got to do a video on my channel about a knife that honestly it's so daggone cool. I can't believe I got to do it, well, check it out and experience it in person, to hold it and look at it, let alone to get to share it with you all and to do a review on a knife that nice on my channel. Thank you to the person who sent it. I've said it a million times. I'll continue to say it. I'll be forever grateful. It's fantastic, and people have really liked it. And that knife happens to be the Chad Nail Tao, or T-A-O, Tao, however you want to say it. It stands for, it's the New Zealand Maori word for warrior, I'm pretty sure. The Tao, or Tao, however you say it. New Zealand Maori word for warrior. Now this is a fantastic knife. It's a beautiful knife. When I done the review on this, it was just on the knife. I just wanted to show you all how it was made, what it was made from, the looks of it, how it felt in the hand, the size, the weight, stuff like that. It's got aged and vintage blue paper micarta. It's got X-cut carbon fiber. It's got an abalone pivot. It's got a black milled titanium pocket clip. It's got jeweled liners. I mean, this thing is fantastic. Look at that grind work on this blade. This is a custom knife that is so next level. The action is so, I talked about it in the video, the action is so smooth and silky that I don't even know how to describe it. It's that daggone good. Never experienced a knife that with the action like this. It's insane. It's insane. It's next level. It's a fantastic knife. Now, that video, like I said, was all about reviewing the knife. But I wanted to come back and do a video on the blade steel itself, because the blade steel happens to be the new X-Proto blade steel, better known as Magnamax. Now, I've heard a lot about Magnamax. People have been talking about it for a while. In my own comment section, I've had people talking about it. I've had some people say it wasn't stainless. I've heard some comments that were right. I've heard some comments that were wrong. I've heard a bunch of different stuff about this blade steel. But a lot of people are aware of it, that it's coming. And I just wanted to do a really quick video to just kind of give you the numbers on this blade steel and give you an idea of what it is and how it's made. And not how it's made, but basically just its characteristics and what makes it so special. Now, I've done some research on this. I put a lot of time into this today and yesterday. I really researched. I dove in. I read some different blogs about it, and Knife Steel Nerds and different stuff like that. I got a lot of stuff. I Googled it, everything. I mean, I took notes. So everything that I'm about to tell you comes straight off the internet. This is not my opinion. I almost copied it verbiage, word for word, so people can't say that I'm wrong or I don't know what I'm talking about. This ain't my stuff. This comes straight off the places, the websites where they do know what they're talking about. So it's a fantastic blade steel. It is in the MagnaCut family. Now, this is the McNeese PM Mac 2. And it's in MagnaCut blades. So I've got a lot of MagnaCut blades. MagnaCut blades. I've got a lot of knives in MagnaCut. Fixed blade, folders, Chris Reeves, different ones. I've even got budget ones like the Best Techman Knife Center exclusive Dundee and MagnaCut. We've got several MagnaCut blades. And I've always said that MagnaCut was the Goldilocks blade steel. And the reason why is because you hear that old saying, jack of all trades but an ace of none. That's MagnaCut. It's not a superstar in any one area like some blade steels, like S110V or something, is extremely high in edge retention, but low in other areas. MagnaCut isn't extremely high in any one area, but it's even across the board. It's well balanced. It's really good in every area. It's solid. It's strong. It's a well balanced blade steel that's going to give you good performance in every area that a blade steel should perform. That's what makes MagnaCut so good, and that's why I call it the Goldilocks blade steel. Now, Magnamax is in the MagnaCut blade family, or steel family. That's why it's Magnamax, MagnaCut. But it is different. where this prioritizes, MagnaCut prioritizes a balance across the board with all areas: edge retention, corrosion resistance, hardness, and toughness. Magnamax puts a priority, the way it's formulated, on edge retention and hardness, but without losing toughness. See, here's the thing. Usually when you have a blade that has really high edge retention, it has that because it's really hard. The harder it gets, the higher the hardness is on the hardness chart, the HRC, 61, 62, 63. The harder it gets, the more toughness it loses. I've talked about this before. Because the harder it gets, the more, not brittle, but more chippy and brittle it gets. So you won't take a knife that's got really high hardness and chop with it or baton with it, because you'll smash that blade. You'll snap it right in half because it's so hard to give it that edge retention that it's not got any toughness. You literally, the higher the hardness goes, the more the toughness leaves. But the lower the hardness is, to give it more toughness, the lower the edge retention is. It's an unfortunate thing, but it is what it is. That's why MagnaCut is so good, because across the board it's even. Magnamax prioritizes edge retention and hardness without losing toughness. It's incredible that it can even do that, honestly, because usually it's not possible in the steel world. If you're going to have one, you're going to lose the other. But somehow they formulated this to where it can do that. Now, I'm going to give you an example. It's similar to S110V in edge retention. And that, if you know anything about knives, and most of you all do, S110V is extremely high edge retention because it's really hard. But S110V is not a good, you don't see that on camp knives for a reason, because it is not tough at all. This has the edge retention of S110V, but double the toughness of S110V. That's crazy that it can do that. They do, though. It's comparable to K390 and 10V. Now, I just recently bought that 10V Shaman at Blade Show for James, done a review on it, sent it off to him. Excellent knife. Extremely hard, high number on the hardness chart, great edge retention, but they're not corrosion resistant. 10V and K390 are not corrosion resistant. They have a really high hardness and really high edge retention, but they're not the toughest blade steels, and they have no corrosion resistance. Now, I don't have a 10V knife right here. I need to get the Shaman for myself. I need to get one for myself. I've already reached out to them. I'm going to try to get one as soon as I can. I do have some 15Vs, like this Military 2 in 15V and this Shaman in 15V. Extremely hard blades, extremely good edge retention, but there's no toughness here at all. I mean, they're tough. But they're not tough. You know what I'm saying? I would never take these out and chop with them and baton with them. I just wouldn't do that. That's not what they're meant for. But they also don't have corrosion resistance in them. Magnamax is on the level of K390 and 10V, but it's stainless. So that's pretty daggone insane. So you're getting a lot of edge retention. On the edge retention level, Magnamax is really, really, really good. Really good. Now, hardness. Now, hardness is what you need. You need to have a high hardness to get the high edge retention. But the harder it is, the more toughness you lose. This is some things that I'll tell you about this. It's designed to be run at higher hardnesses without losing its toughness, like I said a while ago. They have formulated this blade steel to where it can be run at higher hardnesses without losing its toughness. Usually that's not possible. It can achieve a hardness above 60 HRC even after tempering at 450 degrees Fahrenheit. Now, usually when you temper it that high of a degrees, you're actually sucking the hardness right back out of it. You're tempering it down to where it'd be more tough. That's what tempering is. But this blade steel is formulated to where even when you do temper it at that high, you're still ending up with 60 HRC hardness. It's like, I don't know how they're able to do that. Usually, the more you temper it, the lower the HRC until you're getting down to around 50 to 60, or 58 to 60, I should say. But this is still achieving 60 and higher even after tempering at high temperatures. It still gets a higher HRC hardness. It's just crazy how Magnamax can do that. That's chemistry, that's engineering, that's mathematics, that's smarter people than me that are pretty daggone insane at what they do, and they put this together. Now, like I said, it has hardness of steels like 10V and K390, but it has the toughness double of what S110V is. And now, I want to give you an example really quick to show you what kind of edge retention we're talking about. There's a standardized CARTA test, C-A-R-T-A, standardized CARTA test. It's where they take a blade and they cut it through slices of paper. And they see how many cuts it will get from a razor's edge until it loses its edge, dulls down. Magnamax got 700 cuts. Now that might not mean much to you. 700 cuts, just 700 cuts, okay. Without knowing a comparison, you don't really know how good that is. S35VN got 500 before it lost its edge. So it's a 40% increase in edge retention over S35VN. Now, toughness. While MagnaCut prioritizes a balance across the board, Magnamax focuses and emphasizes, like I said, on the edge retention and hardness. That's its main thing. That's what they are really going for with Magnamax. They really are going after the edge retention and the hardness. That's the main priorities of this blade steel to achieve. But it can still offer similar toughness to S35VN and CPM 154. Now, both of those are extremely tough. CPM 154 is one of my favorite blade steels. I've done videos on my favorite blade steels, and 154 is one of my favorites. I love 154. Kaiser does a lot of 154, 154 CM or CPM 154. They're pretty much the same thing, but they're extremely tough. They're really, really tough, especially for pocket knives, stuff like that. So it's got toughness of like S35VN or 154, but edge retention like a S110. That is insane. That is insane. It offers double the toughness of other high edge retention blade steels. A lot of your high edge retention blade steels, this doubles their toughness. So it maintains toughness even at higher hardnesses. Again, I've said all that already. Now, corrosion resistance is the last area that this blade that you really care about: toughness, hardness, edge retention, and corrosion resistance. Corrosion resistance, because it is in the MagnaCut family, it retains the corrosion resistance of the MagnaCut blade steels. This kind of the same area that MagnaCut falls in. It carefully controls the formulation of chromium carbides, which negatively affect the characteristics of corrosion, rust. Chromium carbides are what builds up to cause that stuff. Well, Magnamax carefully controls that, just like MagnaCut does. It's in the MagnaCut family, like I just said, and it retains a lot of those same characteristics. So corrosion resistance, you are getting a really good, very good stainless. It's getting K1 or K390 stainless. It's getting 10V stainless. But here's the thing. Other people have said that also. other people have already told me, well, you're getting K390 stainless. That would be great on its own. K390 stainless alone, or 10V stainless alone, would be awesome. But to say that is such a slight to Magnamax. It really is, because you're completely ignoring and avoiding the biggest part of that. It's not K390 stainless. It's K390 stainless with double the toughness. The toughness is, that toughness, usually you got to choose one or the other. Do you want edge retention and hardness, or do you want a blade that's tough? A lot of times you got to choose one or the other. MagnaCut came along and it kind of evened the playing field, where you could get a lot of that stuff in a blade, but you wasn't going to get it super exceptional edge retention. You wasn't going to get super exceptional toughness, super exceptional hardness. You just wasn't going to get those, because it was across the board good everywhere. So it wasn't going to excel anywhere. This comes along and it excels across the board. It doesn't balance across the board. It excels in a few and brings the other numbers up considerably. So if that makes sense, if it makes sense, and I understand if it doesn't, because this is all chemistry and it's above me as well. I just spent a lot of time the last 2 days researching this and reading into this stuff and reading blogs about it and stuff like that. So, a lot of the performance formerly limited to a lot of your stainless tool steels like K390 and 10V, you're now going to get in Magnamax with the stainless and toughened characteristics. So across the board, Magnamax is absolutely next generation super steel. It really is. When you research it and you dive into it and you see what Magnamax really is about, it's like having this Shaman in 15V, but being able to take it outside and chop with it or baton with it a little bit. And also, by the way, it's stainless, so I don't have to worry about it. It's like taking my Penguin over there that's in an S90V, and I can go out and I can chop with it, and I can baton with it, and I can do whatever, because it's got extremely good edge retention, but it's also really good at everything else as well. And it's really, really tough. I mean, like I said, usually you get one or the other. You get a really tough blade that you can go chop and baton with. It's good for outdoors and survival and bushcraft. Or you get a really good pocket knife with good edge retention and hardness for EDC, for cutting down boxes, for being a slicer, stuff like that. Magnamax is a blade steel coming along that's shattering all the rules, that's giving you all the performance that you want in every area. Is it perfect? No. When they've got a blade steel that's perfect edge retention, it never loses its edge, it's perfectly tough, you can never break it no matter how hard you beat on it. You can chop with it, beat on it, whatever you want, stab, puncture, whatever, and it's never going to snap, it's never going to chip, it's never going to break, it's never going to lose its edge, and it never, ever, ever corrodes, no matter if you treat it or maintain it or not. You'll have the perfect blade steel. I don't think that's ever going to happen. But then again, technology improves everything. And we are in a pretty technologically savvy world where every day they are improving on the things we already have. So if they are already this far along with Magnamax, I can only imagine where they'll be in 5 years. Technology improves everything and is constantly improving. So this right here is insanely good. It is a leap ahead of MagnaCut. Now, MagnaCut is still going to be a blade steel you're going to see on a lot of knives. It's still going to be the prominent blade steel because it's still giving you good Goldilocks performance, and it's still going to be a blade steel that fiscally makes sense. Companies can still make knives out of MagnaCut and not charge so much it prices their customers out of the game. Magnamax for a while might be that blade steel that is reserved for custom knives like this, or the Spyderco Mule, or just really expensive knives. Hopefully they do come out with some on some more production lines and try to bring that cost down. I'd say we're probably going to be looking at some pretty significant, couple $100 at least for quite a while. Just like it was with MagnaCut when they first came out, you know, and eventually this will start to be replaced and it'll come out with new things, and then this will start coming down, but that's going to be a way down the road, a ways down the road, I should say. But in the meantime, MagnaCut is still a phenomenal, especially for EDC, for normal everyday carry, for normal people and what they've got to do in their everyday life. MagnaCut is more than capable and more than good enough. Honestly, this 15V right here, I carry the, I'll just be honest with you, I carry this this right here a lot because I like this one so much. I'm afraid of losing it or breaking it because it means a lot to me. So I carry this one more. But the edge is so good and it's so hard, it does everything I need to. I'm not chopping with my knives and beating up on them and stuff. So the toughness, I don't really miss it. But gosh, it would be nice if I could have all that in this knife. It would be fantastic. That's what Magnamax is bringing to the table. So it's a phenomenal blade steel. It really is. Most of you probably already know this, but for the people who don't, that is a rundown of what Magnamax is going to be. This blade steel that's going to be hitting the market soon on a lot of custom knives like it is right now with this one and the Spyderco Mule and some other ones that are going to be coming out. I don't know when it will be available on a broader range. I don't know. I have no idea. But when it is, we would all be wise to get a good knife in that and use the heck out of it, because it will be a knife that will perform in every area and it will do a really good job, and it will probably last us a long time. It'll probably replace a lot of knives that we use because it has more characteristics across the board that we want. We don't have to any longer sacrifice. It's like, no, I'm not giving that analogy. That's a terrible analogy. God, that is such a terrible analogy. I can't believe that even came to my mind. Now, I was a 14-year-old kid again. It's like a car. It's like a car. You can have a car that's got luxury, or you can have a car that's got muscle and speed, but you can't have both. And then, you know, Mercedes comes out with a V12 or something. I don't know. I'm not a car guy. And this thing is a luxury car, $200,000, but it'll absolutely flat out blow the doors off of any sports car on the road. You know, that's kind of like what we're looking at, metaphorically speaking. It's just, it gives you the best of both worlds. So I'm going to quit jabbering and blabbering on. I absolutely love this thing. This is a beautiful knife. I'm planning on sending it back in a couple years to its rightful owner. I'm going to keep it for quite a while. I'm going to play the waiting game. Hopefully I can wait them out and they'll forget about it. And I'm just joking. I'm sending it back like this week. But man, what a nice daggone knife. It is so daggone beautiful. It is amazing. This is beautiful. I love it. Thank you so much for letting me check it out. And it gives me a good opportunity to learn about blade steels because I am still learning a lot. So thank you. Guys, I'm Chris, the Unprofessional Dad. Thank you all for listening to me ramble. Hopefully you learned something. If not, if you already knew all this, I completely understand. Thank you regardless. I'm Chris, the Unprofessional Dad. I wish all of you sharp knives and happy lives, and I will see you in the next video.